Alex Peterson here, Pioneer Field Agronomist in southwestern Minnesota. It's Wednesday, May 29th, and it's been about 7 to 10 days since meaningful planting progress took place in my geography. Between the weather, Washington, calendar, and markets, many growers around here are suffering from a bit of whiplash. As the late planting period of June 1st approaches, I'd like to take some time today to cover a few key topics and add some clarity to the situation. With the recent rally in grain prices, a lot of folks are considering planting corn until that June 10th to June 15th timeframe. One question we're being asked is, I know there's a point in time unique to my operation when taking prevent plant makes sense. I just don't know where that is. And while we can't speak for every operation, we've run some numbers and they certainly would indicate that planting corn until mid-June makes sense. As an example, we did sit down with one particular grower, plugged in some insurance figures, added a rough budget for both prevent plant and planting corn, and came up with the following charts. First, looking at the crop insurance guarantee versus prevent planting dollars, it makes sense for this grower to get corn in the ground until around June 11th. And this is really a worst case scenario, kind of falling back on crop insurance, should the grower decide to plant. However, with the recent uptick in markets, some fairly attractive ROIs are possible, even with modest yield levels. To illustrate this, the next chart shows the selling price needed to be better than prevent plant for a given yield level. Again, this is unique to this operation, but it does a nice job of showing that a record yield is not necessarily needed to cash flow, and helps to establish a comfort level for what to expect when the combine rolls through the field this next fall. And finally, this is the same data just flipped around, showing the bushels needed at a given selling price. So if the grower says, hey, I'm planting an early hybrid on this particular field this late in the game, I'm expecting no more than 145 bushels to the acre. He or she can easily see that a selling price of around $4 is needed to be better than prevent plant. So now that we've covered some of the economics, an even bigger question on every grower's mind is maturity. Multiple data sets would agree that planting the latest maturity possible is where farmers are going to get the highest ROI in every planting window. Now, we're encouraging growers to focus less on CRM and really focus in on GDUs to black layer. This is because for a given maturity, we see a wide dynamic range amongst companies for GDUs to black layer. For example, 98 and 99 day products across the industry require anywhere from 2,300 to 2,600 plus GDUs to reach black layer. And although higher GDUs does correlate with higher yield potential, along with that comes the risk of not getting enough heat units to reach maturity naturally. Once armed with GDU to black layer information, there are a couple of neat GDU modeling tools that growers can utilize to create plans and a comfort level for the products they're about to plant. One of my personal favorites is the Useful to Usable tool from the MRCC in Illinois. Users simply select their location on the map, enter their planting date as the start date, fill in the GDUs to silking and black layer, and the model highlights likely silking and maturity dates. This can then be easily cross-referenced with historical frost dates when developing plants. One final thing to keep in mind is that regionally adapted hybrids, or products that were developed for your geography for a quote-unquote normal year, will flex down in the number of GDUs required to reach maturity. In one study, Bob Nielsen at Purdue found that for every day a product is planted after May 1st, it required on average 6.8 fewer GDUs to reach black layer. Keep this in mind when utilizing the MRCC tool mentioned earlier, by reducing the GDU count to match up with when you're planting. Thanks for tuning in. As always, visit with your team of trusted Pioneer professionals to put together the best plans for your operation. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next time.
That concludes this Pioneer Growing Point Agronomy video podcast. Visit our page on pioneer.com and follow us on Twitter and Facebook for more agronomy insights.